I don't like Manchester United. You don't like Manchester United, and not even Ferguson likes them. The pride of England has aged, becoming nothing more than a relic of the past with no present and a fearful outlook toward the future. The team is sitting in 15th place and lost the Europa League final to Tottenham. Can you imagine that? Tottenham, almost a club with no history, has now claimed a European title at the expense of history itself. Have you seen the scale of the disappointment? And for that reason, a revolution was necessary. Signings with real character are coming, while others, who have no value, will leave. Manchester United's management operates on a fixed principle. We must sell more than we buy to maintain financial balance. And although the transfer market so far looks promising, the real talk about the departing players hasn't even begun yet. So let's take a look at who they are. Prepare your perfect cup of tea, get ready, grab a pen and paper, and here we go.
Welcome to Cadro Sports channel. Feel free to support us with a like and subscribe to the channel if your life is not in danger. Now, let's go.
Andre Onana. He was a failed signing in every sense of the word, and he has become a burden on Manchester United. In truth, you can't blame anyone at the club for signing him. Back when he was at Inter Milan, he was considered one of the best goalkeepers in the world. He came to United to solve the goalkeeper issue, but unfortunately, he became the issue himself. There's a clear shakiness in his personality, nervousness, lack of confidence. Any shot on goal could turn into a goal, even the easy ones. And as you know, the goalkeeper is half the team. If you don't have a good keeper with a strong personality, then don't expect results, trophies, or even serious competition. For that reason, signing a new goalkeeper has become a top priority for Manchester United, and Onana is now a candidate for departure. So far, only 2 clubs have shown interest in signing him. The first is Bayer Leverkusen, where Ten Hag once coached him, and the second is Saudi club Neom, newly promoted to the Pro League and currently the most likely to sign him, especially as they're preparing a significant financial offer. United is asking for a fee between 20 and 25 million euros, and if an offer in that range arrives, they will approve the sale immediately. Victor Lindelof. He came to Manchester United with huge expectations, but he didn't even deliver 10% of what was hoped for. Maybe it's due to the team's declining form, the constant managerial changes, or the group dynamic as a whole, but in the end, he's now 30 years old, and with his contract nearing its end, the club has thanked him and decided to let him leave on a free transfer. Juventus and AC Milan have both shown interest in him, especially since he would be a free signing. The number of interested clubs is expected to grow in the coming days. But one thing is certain, he is completely out of Manchester United's plans. Jonny Evans. He has decided to retire from football, and no one really knows why Manchester United brought him back in the first place. Even during his best years, and with all due respect, he was never a top-class defender. As for Casemiro, after a major drop in form the season before last, he managed to get back on his feet last season and delivered a fairly decent performance. He was decisive in several key moments. However, it's clear that he's not the ideal fit for Erik Ten Hag's style of play. And to be honest, the management wants him gone, to free up his salary and potentially sign a younger, more suitable player for the current system. It's also expected that Casemiro will leave either for free or for a very low transfer fee. The most likely destination? Brazil, where he is expected to wrap up his career. As for Christian Eriksen, his story isn't much different from Jonny Evans. No one really knows why he was signed in the first place. He joined United essentially at the end of his career, lacking the physical strength and technical ability needed to be a regular starter. That said, he was hard-working in every game and always tried to contribute. Nevertheless, he will also leave on a free transfer and is expected to return to Ajax to finish his career at his former club. Marcus Rashford and Alejandro Garnacho. Since the first day that Amorim took charge of Manchester United, he was unconvinced by 2 players in particular, Marcus Rashford and Alejandro Garnacho. The reason stems from the negative atmosphere in the locker room, as well as the lack of desire to improve from both players. For this reason, as soon as the season ended, Amorim reaffirmed his desire for Garnacho to leave the team. The player has already started looking for offers outside Manchester United, with a transfer value set at €60 million. So, which clubs are interested? The first is Napoli, where coach Antonio Conte is pushing hard to sign him as a direct replacement for Ficha Kvaratskhelia, who left for Paris Saint-Germain. Conte believes he can transform Garnacho into a completely different player, possibly the best in his position. The second club is Bayer Leverkusen, which is preparing for the departure of several players and needs quick replacements. Their coach, Xabi Alonso, has specifically requested Garnacho's signing. The third club is Atletico Madrid, where Diego Simeone is working to build an Argentine gang in the Spanish capital, and Garnacho is part of his team renewal project. All three clubs can probably pay the asking price, but the payment will likely be made in installments. By all measures, Garnacho can be considered out of Manchester United. As for Rashford, his relationship with Erik ten Hag was very poor and completely deteriorated further under Amorim. Both the management and the fans clearly want him gone, especially since he has shown no development over 10 years. He remains the same player from his early days. No technical, physical, or finishing improvement, and still consistently wastes easy chances. His loan to Aston Villa brought a little hope that he might find a good offer. Who is interested in him? The most prominent is Barcelona, where coach Hans Flick is very impressed with his abilities, especially since Rashford can play as a winger or striker. Flick sees him as a project player who can be developed, as he has done with other players in his past experiences. However, Rashford remains the second option after Luis Diaz. Inter Milan and AC Milan are considering signing him, but no official moves have been made yet. Aston Villa want to keep him, and several English clubs are expected to join the race for his signature. So the question remains, where will Rashford go? Rasmus Hojlund. Manchester United's €78 million signing of Rasmus Hojlund has been a technical and managerial disaster. True, he is young, but he has not shown anything extraordinary in Serie A, and is not like Erling Haaland, who broke records everywhere he played. Hojlund has only played 34 matches with Atalanta, scoring 10 goals and providing 4 assists. He is not suitable for Manchester United. He is a classic box striker, but struggles outside the penalty area, lacks the ability to link up with wingers, and lacks speed and quick transitions. In short, he perfectly fits the profile of many Serie A strikers, which is not a joke but an accurate description. Serie A strikers often have these traits, which may make them successful there and perform at a high level. But in England, the requirements are completely different, and it's nearly impossible for him to succeed at any club there under these conditions. Currently, Inter Milan want to sign him and are ready to take him on loan with an option to buy or even buy in installments. But they do not value him above €40 million, not €70 million as previously rumoured. Napoli is also interested, as he fits Antonio Conte's style, which prefers strikers like Romelu Lukaku. The deal might happen through an exchange or installment purchase, especially if Manchester United decides to get rid of him by any means. The important thing now is for United to finalise this deal and sign a new striker who truly fits the club and can add real value. Zirkzee. Zirkzee was an outstanding striker at Bologna, an agile, skillful player who excels both inside and outside the box, with the ability to create and score goals, the kind of player coaches love today. But once he moved to Manchester United, he didn't show the same performance we were used to. Still, the possibility of his departure is lower than Hojlund's. He might continue with Amorim as a backup striker because he is genuinely talented and just needs some patience. Currently, clubs interested in him include Inter Milan, Juventus and AC Milan, all ready to make official offers. But as I mentioned, there is a real chance he could stay with the team next season. And so, sir, these are the players who will leave Manchester United to begin a new phase with different faces under a coach who is supposed to make a difference. But the most important question remains, will Manchester United really return to the top? Or will we keep going in the same endless circle? I'm waiting for your answer in the comments. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and share to get all the latest updates.